Legion of Superheroes number 22, written by Paul Levitz, art by Jeff Johnson. So last issue, the entire Legion got the smackdown from Persuader and Emerald Empress, and at the very end we had Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl show up saying, "We'll take you all on." So this issue picks up in that exact same spot, saying like, "Hey Tharok, we'll take you down," and he's like, I'm made of energy, but Persuader, go take care of them." And Persuader jumps in and starts attacking Lightning Lad. And he's like, "Psh, my axe can cut through electrons. You think you have anything that you could do, Lightning Lad? You're no." And then turns out Saturn Girl gave him like a mind whammy. And as she's focusing on doing that, so that Lightning Lad can land a punch, she is zapped and grabbed by the ponytail by Emerald Empress, who just swoops in, grabs her, and flies away. And Tharok's like, "Okay, well, that was inconvenient. Persuader, continue attacking." And he's like, "All right, sure." I do love this one line from Tharok, though, which I'm just going to quote wholesale. I finish your task, Persuader. And then talking about Emerald Empress, "I hope she kills your bitch slowly." Like, damn, that's hardcore. So Persuader attacks Lightning Lad. And he's just like, "Oh, if you hurt Saturn Girl, I'm going to be awful cross with you." And Persuader's like, "Oh, okay, well, you're going to be dead, so whatever." So he's about to land a finishing blow on Lightning Lad. And then all of a sudden, from behind, his sister, as he says, "Nice shot, sis," Lightning Lass? Girl? I don't know. Wakes up and shocks Persuader. And so they zap him together. He gets knocked out. And they both are like, "Awesome, good job. Now, Tharok, for you." And Tharok's like, "Okay, well, I wasn't really looking to deal with this. Empress, let's get going." And Emerald Empress comes back in, still holding Saturn Girl by the ponytail. And Tharok's like, "We're going to make a portal and beam out of here. Bye." So they go out, and Lightning Lad jumps in after them. So they teleport to the Promethean Giant that we dealt with before. Except this time there's a ship next to the Promethean Giant, and we see that there are two people on the ship who are talking about like, "Oh, there's flesh and blood on this giant. We have to be here. It's important that we're here. We're going to risk it all again." So we see Tharok, Empress, Saturn Girl, and Lightning Lad arrive. And as soon as they get there, Lightning Lad gets zapped by Empress and is just out of the fight. So Saturn Girl stands up, starts going toe-to-toe with Empress, and it's like, "Empress, you got that eye living inside of you. I'm sure that the real you is still underneath there somewhere." And she's like, "Psh, doesn't matter. My eye's all too powerful. You better be afraid of me." And she's like, "I'm not afraid of you. I fought Darkseid." And Empress is like, "Well, then you'll die brave." So at that point, they fight for a brief period, but Saturn Girl basically is like, "Nope, I've already tapped into your mind of the like person underneath the Empress, underneath the eye. So mind whammy," and she's out of the fight as well. So then Tharok is the only one left. And Saturn Girl's like, "I will use my mental powers." And he's like, "I'm made of energy. You can't touch me. I'm unstoppable to you." And then out from a portal from the dead world comes Polar Boy and Invisible Kid. And he's like, "All right, well, I don't think either of you can do anything about me either. But regardless, you guys want to meet the fifth member of the Fatal Five? Here you go." And he activates the Promethean Giant that they're on and uses his like control over it to take its hand and just like start swatting at them. And Tharok will of course be fine, but the rest of them will have serious issues with the whole living thing. So it looks like the hand is about to crush Polar Boy, and Tharok's like, "Do it, crush him." But turns out that the two beings inside the ship are Sensor Girl and Karate Kid. And Sensor Girl is using her powers of, quote, manipulation of sensory information to free the Promethean Giant from the control of Tharok. And so it no longer has to listen to him. It doesn't try to kill anybody anymore. And Karate Kid's like, "Awesome, let's get down there so I can punch something." And Sensor Girl's like, "I'm pretty sure the fight's going to be over before then, so let's just, chill here for a while." So Tharok's like, "All right, you know what? Screw this. I still have energy powers. I can kill one more of the Legion myself." And so he goes after Polar Boy, starts zapping him with energy. And Saturn Girl's like, "Polar Boy, absolute zero now." And Polar Boy uses his powers to put an ice thing around Tharok, and he's like, hey, idiot, I'm made of energy. You can't freeze energy. But it turns out Polar Boy can get all the way down to absolute zero, to the point where not even electrons can move anymore. So Tharok is frozen completely solid, and the Fatal Five is officially defeated. So cut to the site of the Legion headquarters. We see Brainiac 5, Duplicate Damsel, and Bouncing Boy, as well as a bunch of other people, but those are the main ones. Brainiac 5's like, okay, I did some scans. Tharok's taken care of, but he did some lasting damage on our ability to use Quark relay systems, so we got to kind of like rebuild from like all that tech. Like, it's going to be a problem. And Duplicate Damsel is upset because one of her duplicates has died, and so she has to bury it. And all the Legionnaires look on and are just like, all right, everyone, now we have to see if the Legion can come back from such an issue. And Brainiac 5 just looks up at them and with tears in his eyes, and he says, it's all my fault. So next issue is the last issue. And you can feel it. You can feel that the next issue is either going to end on this hopeful, uplifting note or this bittersweet note. I doubt they're going to go full dour, where it's just like, and then the whole planet blew up, the end. I'm sure there will be some sort of hopeful message for the future of the Legion, but like, yeah, no, they're in dire straits. Like, there's going to be some bad thing, unless they somehow manage to like time travel back and fix it all, which it's the Legion. That's always a possibility. But as for this issue, it's okay. I do like that each member of the Fatal Five was taken care of by some other different Legionnaire. Like, it wasn't just Saturn Girl coming in there and just mind whammying everybody. Like, every member got taken out their own unique way. So even if Persuader may have been a bit too easy for my liking, so be it. It's fine in the long run. I'm going to give this book, I'm going to give it a 6.5. It's okay. It's a fine issue. I don't have that many issues with it because, again, this issue, like, first off, it gave me name things for all these new people that were coming in. So totally down for that. But there was also the issues of, like, Censor Girl and Karate Kid. I don't think we've ever met them before. Like, they just came out of nowhere as a deus ex of like, and we saved you from the giants. It's like, oh, okay, thanks. So yeah, it has its issues, but it's still a decent read overall. Probably the most I've enjoyed Legion this entire show, which isn't saying much, but it's something.